Hi, my name is Tanya Allen. I'm currently the principal at North Education Center in District 287, and this course is called What's Race Got to Do with It? And I kind of played off of another course that I made called What's Bias Got to Do with It? If you haven't done the What's Bias course, it may be helpful to go backwards, but you could also just begin with this course. I wanted to give everyone that participated a brief overview of what this course is going to entail. This course is meant to address many of the things that PELSB requires for those that need a cultural competency piece for relicensure. So some of the themes that we're going to look at through this course are themes around microaggression. We're going to take a deep dive in looking at some videos that have been shared with equity teams throughout District 287 and just some other videos and resources that are helpful as you think about what some of those key themes around microaggression are. The course will also touch on white fragility, which Robin DiAngelo has a book about, but there's some articles and there's also a short video that she has done that I believe will give you a good framework and an idea of what white fragility is and how you may show up in it. Systems at Work is really meant to give you a quick snapshot, very quick, about some of the systems at work when we think about race and how that impacts people. So it's not meant to be a deep dive. It's just going to talk about a few different things that I want people to think about when we make judgment calls about people and the reality in which they live. Kimberly Crenshaw has work on intersectionality that will be featured with 2 short video clips. And then we'll go into culturally responsive teaching. And we're going to look at it from just a couple of different lenses and views. It is not all encompassing. It's just meant to give you a couple of different ideas about windows and mirrors, look at some of Zaretta Hammond's work on culturally responsive teaching in the brain, and a couple other resources. And then if you want to actually get a certificate or something that says that you completed this entire course, we are going to do a Zoom call, and I'm going to try to look towards late May or the first week of June to do this to give people enough time to get through the materials. The reflection questions that go after each section are meant to be for you. They're good for me to see, but they're really meant for you because when we have that Zoom call, it's meant to be a springboard to launch us into the conversation around those themes and the things that we've learned from watching these videos and watching these speakers speak. Like I said, this is not all encompassing. It's meant to be something to kind of wake you up to some things that you may not already know. And for those things that you've already seen and that you already know, it's just meant to be then a good refresher as we think about the work about race. And what is race when we isolate it all by itself have to do with the realities that we deal with on a day-to-day basis as we live our lives, as well as how do we then address things as we are educators? How do we look at race and isolating race when we think about how we're designing and functioning? At this time, it's May of 2020, so obviously we are still in the midst of the coronavirus crisis. And so that has given us another way of thinking about systems at work. I did not put a lot of COVID resources or information in this video or in this course, because I felt like that's something that may for some be really difficult. The content that you are going to experience and go through may be difficult for you. I do not recommend taking this as a course where you're trying to do a sprint, but rather thinking about it from a more of a marathon approach. The themes, if you've not heard them before, some of the content, some of the words expressed, some of the direct way that things are communicated may not be part of what's comfortable for you. So I want to call that out in the beginning because that's a reality of some of the things and some of the content that you're going to read or the content that you're going to view in the videos that are included in this course. I hope that when we get done with everything, it is my true hope that we'll be able to do a closing reflection that allows us to have deeper conversation about what you have seen and what you have read. Enjoy the course.